Good morning, gentlemen. Al Scout, PCD Director. This is in a matter of an action the board took in November.
Mr. Belinsky, would you please,
I'll go out in the hall.
thank you very much.
Okay.
Most appreciative.
In November, the County Commissioners approved a moratorium on mooring buoys in Mystery Bay. This was the third and final moratorium. It expires in May of 2011. According to state law, this would be the final moratorium allowed in this matter, and irregardless of the pending SMP adoption, if we do not have the college's approval by May, we cannot put another moratorium in place.
Not aware of that.
So in that matter, we'll be discussing issues with ecology this month. I don't anticipate adoption from ecology this month, perhaps February, but I really don't know. Staff asked the board to conduct a public hearing on this interim control, which is a moratorium. The board took action in November. It is in place, it's currently active, and no action of the board is required today or needed at this time, only that you conduct a public hearing. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Any questions from the board? And I think it's important to note that the reason for this moratorium is to allow a continuation of shellfish in the bay.
Yes, the stakeholder group continues to meet quarterly. We have a management plan in place that has allowed for continued shellfish operations in this area and intergovernmental cooperation where particularly the State Board of Health, State Health, has been able to keep the area open, and there's active participation by not only growers, tribes, and agencies, but we're all at the table trying to make sure that that area is viable for shellfish production.
I am curious about the Shoreline Management Act limiting the number of moratoriums. As far as you know, is that the only place that is limited on the moratorium?
Yes, this was a specific amendment to the Shoreline Management Act last year, RCW 90.58. Unlike growth management at RCW 3670A, the interim controls and moratoria provisions are unlimited for numbers of moratorium and interim control. So it is different than the GMA. The SMA stands on its own with only 3 initial adoption and 2 extensions.
Yeah, I was surprised. Okay.
Okay. At this point, we will start a public hearing to take testimony on the issue before us. We will be recording the speakers, so if you wish to give testimony, please give your name. And each person may speak for up to 3 minutes. I think you know the protocol for the green, yellow, and the red lights at this point. Is there someone who would like to testify on the Mystery Bay mooring buoy moratorium? Yes, please, Mr. Hunter.
Ray Hunter, West Junkett Road, Jefferson County. I have a question as to, has there been any studies done on the incident of red tide or other, say, man-made toxins? Because we're speaking about shellfish, and I'm just wondering if the incident of red tides or man-made toxins are higher in Mystery Bay because of boat moorages, or is it just a natural occurring incident in the bay, or what is the ratio from other areas, Discovery Bay, Swim Bay, and other areas of Puget Sound with these toxins compared to places that have moorages and ones that do not have moorages? In other words, are the moorages making an increase in these undesirable things? Thank you.
Thank you. After testimony, we'll see if someone would like to address that question. Is there another person who would like to speak about the moratorium? Close public hearing. Would
Well, my understanding is, memory of this is that if you look around, we have a lot of restrictions where you have mooring of a lot of boats. Federal standards that have to be followed by the state for shellfish to be transported interstate as a commerce activity have guidelines for what does include what is considered for a marina. And so it's in response to those, rather than a water quality issue that has been measured and found to be wanting in Mystery Bay. It's a response, and so it's really more of a preventative thing in that regard, and addressing those federal definitions that this has come into play. And part of the difficulty with that is so many of the things that you mentioned, when it comes, they're real short-lived and hard to target with those kind of situations, because you have an incident and then it all goes away, but if people eat that fish, shellfish right then, they're the unlucky ones, it might not be detected with some regular testing. So that's kind of my general recollection of it.
May I comment?
Sure. All right,
My only concern was the fact that I know for years and years and years, Carl Johnson had a clam industry there, and Johnson and Dunstone from Discovery Bay were also digging clams over there, and then there was a subcontractor that done clams for Ivers over many years, and I was just wondering if the incident of increased morages had any impact on the seasonal getting of clams due to things in the water. That was my main concern.
Thanks, Mr. Hunter. My understanding also, as Commissioner Sullivan's, is that it's more of a preventive or precautionary. And my understanding is that there wasn't any degradation of water quality.
No, there was the determination that it met the requirements of the definition of a marina, so that there would have had to been precautionary measures taken that limited the shellfish harvesting, and for not just the Johnsons, but also all the other ones that subcontract out. So there's tribal and other private harvesting there, as well as local people harvesting. So this has just been a great example of a lot of people working together, a lot of entities working together to come up with a plan that really has everybody on board in terms of protecting that resource, and a lot of